What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. It's Comic News Weekly, and we got a question. Why aren't more MCU and movie fans reading more Marvel comics? We want to hear what you guys have to think about that, so leave a comment down below. It's something definitely worth discussing. Great article put out on CBR. We're going to talk about that tonight. We're also hopefully privy to a little SDCC information on what took place this weekend, and tomorrow's new comic book day. So let's get ready. Let's have some fun. Sit down and buckle up as we welcome tonight's guests yet again. And we are so glad to see him back safe and sound, even though it's hotter than all blazing hell out there. We want to welcome Mr. Bryan McClay.
What's good, brother? It is hotter than hell. It's 118 out today, 119 or 120 out tomorrow. It's it's been going on for like 3 months, it feels like.
Dude, it sounds crazy. You were talking about how much you were looking forward to the cooler temperatures out on the West Coast. Was that what you got to see?
Yeah, it was usually in between about 70 and 80 the whole time. You wake up in the morning, you get that nice sea breeze, with a little bit of, sprinkles from the ocean. And then at night, the same type of thing. It only gets really hot during the day when the sun is kind of beating down on you, which it does because you're standing in line. And especially when they don't know what they're doing out there the first couple of days of San Diego Comic-Con, it can be much. But it was nice. It was good to get away. So, yeah, Josh, for sure.
Man, it's good to see you back safe and sound. We look forward to hearing you, your little bit of insight, what you got to share from this past weekend. And yeah, it sucks about the weather, but you know what doesn't suck is our next guest showing up right now. Ryan, Rhynoverse, what is up, buddy?
Well, that's one heck of an intro. I don't know if I've ever been introed like that. You know who doesn't suck? This guy, I think. Clay. I just gotta tell you, man. I love you, man.
I love you too, brother.
Is that all you got? Come on, man. Let me feel it. No, I'm joking. No, it's good to have you back in the pocket. I don't know if you listen to Tenacious D, they have a little skit where they're like, I love you, man. And then their guy's like, oh, yeah, well, I like you. Right?
It's good to be back. It is definitely good to be back. Even though it's hotter than hell, it's nice to get back to see your dog and your family and, get around, comfortable settings and stuff like that. Other than the heat, I'm very happy to be back. And I was telling the guys before the show, I'm definitely going to be passing out right after the show tonight. So
did you just get here? Did you get back today?
I got back yesterday, and so as soon as I got back yesterday, I just passed out and slept the whole day, the rest of the day, which there wasn't much left. And then today I had to get up early and take parents to doctor's appointments and stuff. So it was a little hot, but that's what you got to do when your parents get old and that type of stuff. You help out. So it was worth it.
I was in a hot attic on Sunday, fixing my old Madre's AC unit. And golly, the only thing that's harder than being outside is being in an attic. Golly, it's hot.
Oh yeah, I couldn't even imagine that.
If there's anybody that works in attics, I totally feel for you because it's rough.
Yeah,
no bueno.
Yeah.
Hey, a quick reminder to everybody watching this on the replay and watching live tonight. Don't forget to check out the unboxing of the Star Wars Grail from this past Saturday, where we've got 3 giveaways going on. You just got to enter in the comments for your chance to win a comic shell or an Encasables case, which is fantastically displayed here with the Clone Wars, or a $25 gift card to State of Comics over in Plymouth, Michigan. So 3 great giveaways going on. All you got to do is watch that episode, watch that unboxing, and leave a comment down below with what's the one book out of all books in comic book history that you would want to have signed and graded for your personal collection. And dude, that was a roller coaster of a ride Saturday.
Oh, I bet, dude. I bet you were really stoked, thinking you were going to open that up. I was going to say 10, I imagine.
Oh man, it was a clean book. More importantly, it's all of the stress is alleviated of wondering what's happening in the book when it's not in your possession, when it's traveling, it's going to get damaged, all this other stuff. But speaking of comic books, yeah, you guys saw the title, you guys saw the thumbnail. What we really wanted to talk about tonight is posing that question of why aren't MCU fans reading Marvel Comics? A fantastic article over at CBR written by Ashley Land. We've got the link down below and the credit given to Ashley Land for writing this article. This is something that I've seen community members talk about over the years, couple of years. It kind of hits, it kind of misses. But I really feel like Ashley took the time to kind of dig into different perspectives and dig in and find a lot of different reasons on why it's just not catching on. Like the movie fans just haven't stuck with comic books like we did in the 80s and the 90s or the 90s. And it really kind of digs into some points. I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys had to say and what people in the chat have to say. Actually, I'll swap over really quick and take a quick peek. We had a comment really early tonight bring up Cover Lover Comics. I can't highlight it because YouTube deletes them when they're put up too early. So I pinned it to make sure we wouldn't lose it. Cover Lover Comics said, I've said for years that films need to be a promotional aspect for the comic shops. Blue Beetle is the first film I've seen where the trailers recommended comic books at the end. Let the people know.
Yeah. I think that, well, I think reading in general has declined in a lot of ways because it's not just comic books, it's just everything. Life nowadays in our society is driven by, or it's so busy nowadays. Everything is just so busy. And I remember as a kid, like I went outside and played in the yard and dug in the ground and used my tractors and stuff like that. And I don't remember like having to be like in a rush. But if you look at kids nowadays, you got gym practice, you got this practice, you got something. Their lives are filled with stuff. And when they're not filled, guess what? Social media is filling it. So I think that is a big reason why comic books are starting, or books in general are starting to be read less and less. I think there's also, attention deficit that's kind of rampant running wild due to, I think that's due to not just the overstimulation of our brains that we've developed since we've been young, that things have become, we're overstimulated. So when you start from a kid and go up that way, it's hard to keep an attention. Now, when I was younger, I couldn't read a comic book because I did have attention deficit, but then I got medicated for that. And I found a way to cope with that. And now I actually can, but I've only been able to do it in the last 5-6 years. And I really enjoy reading comic books. I just, it's just my time to get away from everything. But then if I get away from it and I kind of get away from the story a little bit and I get caught up with other stuff, I get caught up with other things, social media posts, YouTube channels, YouTube stuff. You can get a lot of the data or a lot of the stuff you read right off of YouTube. And so why read when you can listen to it? But for me, because I like the creative part of my brain to be activated, I do like to read them, and I make it a point to read it. So it's something that I enjoy, and I found joy of it. So I have to make a point. Where other people that never had joy, they probably just overlook it.
Yeah, there's a cost associated with it too, right, McClay?
With what?
The cost of comic books we talked a little bit about before the show.
Yeah, man, they're becoming too expensive for people, especially new people that want to get into it or just recently got into it. When it's $5 a comic, and that's for new comics, and then on top of it, you look at the cost, or you look at the stories aren't very good, so they're paying for something that really they aren't getting much out of other than collecting at this point, and then they go on Whatnot or IG and see the same book they just, spent $10 for, if it's like a retailer exclusive being sold for $1, and they start to get pissed. So I imagine that's a big part of it also,
Yeah. It's kind of, I really like the in-depth detail. Ashley goes into the cost of things a little bit too, but she kind of dates herself a little bit when she says the quarter bins are no longer quarter bins, they're dollar bins. And I'm like, damn, I haven't seen a quarter bin and I don't know how long. And the worst part about this is as I'm reading this earlier today and kind of rereading and thinking about this, I actually tried to rationalize that comics aren't that expensive. Cause I'm like, I remember $225 for Punisher issues in the 90s. I remember $1.99. I remember $1.25 is what sticks in my head a lot in the late or the early 90s. But I remember $2.25 in the late 90s and all that other jazz. And I'm like,
Hold the Line at $2.99. Remember that one?
Yep. And now we're seeing regularly $3.99, $4.99, and then they keep bumping up $5.99, $6.99, all the way up to $9.99 for special events or crossovers or one shots or some of the bigger things. And then this person put into perspective, you can't spend $10 and get a week's worth of comic book entertainment for a kid anymore. You know, $16.99, $29, $19.99, $24.99 for trade paperbacks, for little small hardcovers, things of that nature. And I'm like, God, yeah, that really puts it into perspective, because I sat there and really tried to rationalize that, quote unquote. I told myself, well, comics still aren't that expensive. And I'm like, wait a second, this coming from the guy that's spent upwards of $300 a week on New Comic Book Day in past years. So I've got nothing. I got nothing to back up my own claim there in that corner, so to speak. So I was definitely wrong in that aspect.
Yeah, if you think about it too, like they're talking about like the folks that got captured. So it was a thought, I think, that because MCU is getting bigger and people are really liking to go to the movies, and the comic book movie has become popular, it's going to ignite the comic community even more. And everyone, so everyone saw dollar signs. They're like, oh, everything's we're gonna start selling things. It's gonna blah blah blah. But the true nature at the heart of comic books and collecting is the collection and the collecting of books and finding those rare books and being able to create a collection. And right now it's so been misguided or whatever by it's dollar driven. So you can get into it really honestly want to read the comic book or whatnot, but because of the bombardment of like on Facebook or wherever you're at, when you start looking on Facebook and look at, I wanted to get a comic book, and then you get one for someone, then all of a sudden you start getting all these feed of everyone's comic book sales, and then you get caught up in, I need to get some books so I can turn it and flip it and try to make some money on it. And then if you look at a lot of these comic book guys, they started off, I understand, because they wanted to go get their favorite Venom comic, and then it's like, oh, this is worth money and I can start selling them and blah, blah. They kind of get swept up with it.
Well, that's something we're definitely going to touch basis on in a little bit here too. But Amoxicillin from Twitch with a great comment. How often does the average adult read, and which demographic read more? I'd almost say women consume more fantasy via paper than men nowadays. I agree with that 1,000,000%. But here's the thing where you know that the comic book industry's lost touch with paper readers. How often do you see a big group of girls reading fantasy books and going and buying comic books new every week? It's gotten more and more, and girls are getting into the hobby, but it's pretty clear that New Comic Book Day Wednesday and the publishers aren't catering towards that avenue of readers, in my opinion.
Yeah. When you go, you'll see. I mean, there are definitely women and girls and females there that are getting their books and whatnot. But you notice them more than you notice the guys, because it's just like it's a plethora of guys there, and it's like, and I think that I don't know why it is. I think it's just that just lends itself to the genre, because it's usually a lot of action stuff, and typically it's action and bombs and explosions and blah blah blah. And I think that kind of lends it to that.
I can't tell you how many books my wife brings home every week from those fantasy novels, and she cruises through those things and love them. And I'm sure that if there were more stylized or more story stylized like that in comic books, that she would be reading more comic books. McFarlane won't raise prices on Spawn. Dude, they said the same thing about Saga, and they turned around, and when they finally came back from their break, they raised Saga to $3.99. Mm-hmm. It was stuck at $2.99 and hold the line, like McClay said, for forever. So we'll see what McFarlane does.
The stories always are always action packed. They're always, there's always good guy, bad guys. Now, there was a series that came out called Variant. It was like a 4 or 5 comic variant, a book that came out earlier in this year or late last year. And it was based more around the story of the character and not so much, and the action was kind of sidebar, I guess you'd say. If they had more of those type of books, I think that would lend itself more, not stereotyping, but it's just in general. Like, I enjoyed reading that book because I liked the change from having it all the action packed stuff. It was more focused on the story of these variants in their lives, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, So it was a cool idea, and it lends itself to the writing that we're getting is not. It's just kind of subpar as well.
I think that's something a lot of people talk about is the quality of stories that come out and generalized overall. And I think I'll hopefully some people are out there thinking along the same lines as my head right now. I think Marvel's lacking in that department. I'm not calling out any specific writers or writing teams, but I think Marvel overall under its umbrella is kind of lacking there. And some great points being made in the chat we'd like to get into, but we've already touched on a couple of things, i.e., who are they catering to? And Ashley in this story that she writes does a really good job talking about how they aren't catering to readers anymore. They're catering to speculators, investors, and collectors now, which is exactly the point you touched on, Ryan.
Yeah, if you look at like even Kate's, any stuff that you come from him is to drive speculation and drive. I mean, he's a salesman of comics, you know, and so his Twitter and all that stuff is based around that. And he tries to put together the good story, but the reason for the good story is to show off his knowledge of history, but also to like create a book that'll be valuable of someone instead of really focusing on the story or the character, in my opinion.
And along on that lines of creating those stories, not necessarily for the purpose of investment or value, but for the quality of the story, comes one of the biggest hiccups that Ashley writes about that I agree with wholeheartedly is the glaring issue with crossovers and events. Instead of catering to the reader and bringing in new readers, they're trying to utilize their high-selling lines of stories, crossing over with their low-selling line of stories to prop up sales of their lower-selling numbers of books. And she talks about that in a little bit. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, that's one of the biggest issues I have with collecting and reading Marvel comics is the sheer number of crossovers that are happening and trying to keep up with that. And it's just not something I'm interested in anymore.
Yep. I'm with you, dude. It's very interesting. One of the things that they talked about at the con this year that was very, very heavy from multiple retailers that I talked to, lots of people, was the fact that a lot of retailers and a lot of people in the industry are really going to be moving into the manga selling category. They're, selling comics isn't necessarily paying the bills anymore, and they got to figure out a way to pivot or diversify, and they're going to be doing so with manga because manga is selling so well. It's outselling comics by huge amounts in the US, not just overseas anymore, in the US. And that's where the younger generations are going. They're going towards the manga, stuff, not superheroes, not capes and tights, which is very interesting.
Well, it's a different kind of superhero from them. A lot of times manga stories capitalize off of ordinary people in super ordinary situations, which make them very relatable. But manga is created in a way that makes it affordable. It makes it bingeable. It's page turning. I'll admit it's page turning. And lo and behold, right here, while we're talking about Marvel books, is the advertisements are catered toward manga on a lot of comic book websites and news articles. So they're pumping it out there. The anime is obviously something a lot more people are interested in, and it's wondering why Marvel kind of hasn't taken the lead, because we just saw something earlier today, right, McClay, where Dark Horse did a little tidbit or a little bit of news where they said about 1% of their actual output is manga related, but 60% or 66% of their sales right now is manga related. So they obviously see a glaring difference in their numbers.
Yeah, and that's huge. That says a lot.
Right there, Lewis.
Yeah. Man, that's interesting stuff.
I mean, there's a lot of meat on the bones here. I just posted the article link in the chat so people can pull up the article and read it at their leisure, if they will. I think Ashley brings up a lot of great points that we've talked about, bits and pieces over the community or throughout the community over the years. But this kind of puts it all into one neatly kind of tucked away article. There are some things that I felt like I didn't agree with at first, but man, when I pulled myself back and really read into that and really looked, I was like, oh God, yeah, she's right.
Oh yeah, man. Yep. It's good to see
everybody watching on the replay or watching live. I mean, leave your comments after this goes live, kind of, so we can continue talking about it without spending an hour and a half on the subject, because we really want to continue the conversation in the comments, and we want to hear from everybody what their opinion is, why more people from the movie sector really aren't going over to comic books like what we did in the 90s, so to speak. Lots of great comments still coming in. And it just kind of shows that it's not just Marvel that's having issues. It's streamers, publishers, other things that are having issues because they're dropping way more money than they anticipated into some content, i.e. there's a little tidbit on Netflix has completely shut down the Masters of the Universe movie because they've got 30 million into it, and they've now figured out it's going to cost them 200 million to produce it, and they only wanted to spend 150, so they're just shutting it down.
Yep. A lot of companies are doing that. The money isn't flowing like it was a year ago or 2 years ago. And everybody's having to tighten those purse strings, and that's what they're doing 100%. So
yep. Moxicillin says My Hero Academia is literally a superhero manga, and it's huge among both genders. I've heard countless people in the comic book community say to read this, and I'm finally going to commit to doing that this fall. And sitting down and getting into that. And it's huge among both genders. I feel like they could make these stories work if they just have the right writers and the right presentation. And isn't that kind of why they approached some new characters, new Agents of Atlas, and some other avenues to try to kind of bridge towards that manga stuff? And we've seen zero effort from Marvel since then, if I remember correctly.
Well, also there's, that One Piece movie is coming out. The live action, which I saw the trailer, it actually looks pretty good. So if they start pulling off these live action movies or just regular animation movies, and they start making big money, game over. Like that's where you're going to see a lot of movie studios be putting their money in the future, especially if One Piece does really well.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
We certainly will see. Well, speaking of movies, actors, writing, we got to see a San Diego Comic-Con slightly absent of actors and movies to a degree, the entertainment side of things, right, McClay?
Oh yeah, man. It was
popcorn ready.
It was a very interesting Comic-Con this year. No Hall H. We didn't have a lot of the big movie production studios there, this and that. And you know what? It was just fine. And you know what that goes to prove? We don't need them. You know what I mean? Everybody had a great Comic-Con from the attending side. All the retailers said the cash was flowing in a big way. It was still super crowded. Still just as many people showed up, and more people got to actually go and check out the con instead of standing in line for Hall H all day. You know what I mean? So I think it was a very eye-opening thing for the con, people to see that they don't need the big movie companies. They don't need any of that. They can do just fine with what they had this year. People will have a good time. It was very interesting. Preview night on Wednesday went very well. The only thing that I noticed among that I had a problem with was I just don't like standing in line, man. Too much standing in line at those cons, and half the time they do this thing where they cap lines, and if you don't get there and the line is being capped, you can't wait right there. You have to walk around the con, just circle around that little area until they uncap the line. They tell you that. That's garbage.
You gotta hover.
They started doing these lines in the middle of the walkways, and it was stupid. There was a lot of interesting moments in lines. I'll just say that. And I think they need to figure that out. There were some companies that did some good things where you just scanned a QR code and then you ordered what you want on your phone, so you didn't have to stand in line. You know what I mean? That's, to me, the best way to do it. That's taking a page out of the late great George Perez book, where he would hand out the tickets. He told people, If you went to go get a sketch from him, he would give you a ticket and he would tell you, don't stand in line. Don't waste all your time standing in a line. Go walk around and look at stuff. And if when you walk by again, your number has already, there's somebody at the front of the line that is behind your number, you get to get in right in front of them. You know what I mean? So
it's good.
That is the thing. We want more people walking around the con, seeing stuff, buying stuff, enjoying the con than standing in line. And Luce is 100% right. A lot of lines were capped by 9 freaking o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
It was very interesting that way. So for the most part,
just to your point, like they could totally use do phones, like where you and then when it's like 10 spots away, you come over there and you can kind of know, okay, I am about to be out, can go over there. That's great. Yeah, you're totally right on that, because
restaurants like little things they give you at restaurants. Yeah.
The
restaurants haven't figured out. Dude, we're in the wrong business. The three of us need to spend a little capital and get something going where we've got those little buzzer discs and we go to all of the vendor events at all the cons and say, for X number of dollars, you won't have any lines. We just hand out all of these to all your patrons and you buzz them when they're ready to go.
We have 2 ideas on the show. That one, and then the auditors for CG for the graded comic books, graded comic company auditors.
Yeah,
we're full of it.
I'm holding that one steady.
So, in your opinion, McClay? Well, actually, go ahead, McClay, unless you want me to ask another question.
No. So, the first 2 days was very interesting. I did the probably Thursday and Wednesday, I got most of the exclusives that I wanted. And Friday and Saturday and Sunday, I was able just to kind of, walk around and spend time. I think that's the best way to do it. Next year, I probably won't be waiting in line anymore. I just, even for the exclusives that I wanted, it's just, it's really not worth it.
So that was the biggest pain point of the whole weekend, was just the waiting in line, huh?
Yeah. What else? I had a really good time, dude. I had a really good time. Obviously I spent more time in the bars than I did than I did in the con, which was nice.
Hence
our
the
house,
black eyes.
Yeah. Our house or the Airbnb that we stayed in was like a straight up real world house. And if anybody wants to see that, just tune in tomorrow night on Beyond Wednesdays. I'll be showing videos and all kinds of stuff. But it was like a straight up real world house. It was awesome. It was me, Big Leg, Sean Leggett, Big Leg, and the Hive Boys, and it worked out just fine. We each had a bed. And it was a blast. It was an absolute blast where we stayed. It was perfect. It was right above probably the rowdiest club in the Gaslamp, called the Double Deuce. And if anybody knows of the Double Deuce, you know what I'm talking about. It is absolutely rowdy. On Friday night, there was a brawl outside the Double Deuce in that intersection there. And the brawl was like 20 people fighting for 40 minutes. And then the cops showed up, and like 15 cop cars, the paddy wagon. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. So I got to watch that firsthand, which was excellent, because I was very deep into a mushroom bender at that point.
Nice.
So so the sirens were very
Lights
exciting to watch. Yeah. So that was Friday night. What else did I do Friday night? I went to the Bad Idea party. Who was all there? It was me, Big Leg, the Hive Boys, Vinny Kumar, Drew from Wanted Comics. Swag was there. Obviously Dinesh and Adam Freeman. Who else? John from Frosty Mug, I think, was there with us. Man, it was an absolute crazy party there. It was like my tiki bar, and they had free drinks, and it was right on the dock where all the yachts were. So it's just beautiful party. So we did that from about, I don't know, 7 till 10:30 or so. And then after that, we went and, just bar hopped the whole night, and it ended at a strip club. So it was a good night. You know what I mean? And then Friday and then Saturday, I was my first day where I slept in a little bit. I got up about 1 p.m., met Big Leg at the bar for lunch and drinks, which was breakfast for me, but that's how you start off San Diego when you're staying with Big Leg. And I drank probably more this last weekend than I did in the last 2 years. I'll put it that way, because I don't drink. I very rarely drink, very rarely. But it was a lot of drinking from this week, and I didn't get like wasted drunk. I never get to that point. I'm the type of person now that I stop myself way before that point. But it was a lot of fun. Good shit, man. Good shit. Got to party. I met Jeff, the Golden Age Guru guy, for the first time. He's a really cool dude. Really cool dude. I met Neo Geo Comics, I believe it's his tag is on IG. He's a super cool dude. Nigel, who is My Desired Comics on IG, saved my ass. We were standing in line for this bar called the Coin Op Bar, and we had invited everybody out. And the next thing I know, all the people we invited are coming up to us, standing in line, and I'm literally on the phone because I ran out of cannabis, and I'm on the phone looking for a dispensary to deliver, and up walks Nigel from Desired Comics, and he's like, "It would be my honor to smoke with you, bro," and hands me, like this little thing. He's like, "But I don't have anything to roll it up in." I'm like, "I got you, brother. You saved me, I'll save you." So that was a good moment. That was a lot of fun. Hung out with Bird City and everybody there. Who else did we meet? I said hello to Nerdy Girl a couple times, saw her a couple times, hung out with Rage Theo at the bar, had a good time with him. Dude, it was a blast. We would end the nights usually at that karaoke bar called the Werewolf, which is a lot of fun. I got some good videos of that, and yeah, dude, it was just a blast, man. Absolute blast. And I did not stop by the Whatnot house once. I was very proud of myself for that. Not once. So
did you hear any of the Spider-Man 2 stuff, or seeing the Spider-Man 2 game? None.
Nope. I didn't hear much of anything because there weren't really any crazy panels to go to. I'm not going to go to them. So, but I did check out all the new Star Wars figures and stuff, and the G.I. Joe figures. I got videos of that I'm going to edit this big, huge video and put it out. So that will be cool. But, San Diego is something to try and go to every year, in my opinion. If there's one con you're going to try to go to every year, it's usually either San Diego or New York, depending on what side of the country you live in, right? But for me, it's obviously San Diego. I'll never miss San Diego if I don't have to. It's a blast. So Saturday night we went back out. Saturday night we were out till like 4 a.m, which was crazy because we had to be out of our place by 10:45 on Sunday.
Ooh,
and so we spent Saturday. I was supposed to go. We went and had dinner. Me, Sean, James from Hive, and Jesse James Comics, and Dennis Barger showed up. So we had dinner with them, and then we were supposed to go. I was supposed to go. I'm really bummed I missed out on this, but I had to take care of some stuff, unfortunately. But I was gonna go smoke cigars with Dennis and Jesse at the Marriott bar with Billy Tucci, Eric July, who's the guy that does Rhynoverse, and a couple other really great creators. And I really wanted to meet Eric July. So to me, the biggest bummer of that con that I didn't get to do is I didn't get to meet Eric July, and I didn't get to see Jenny Frizen or Carla Cohen. Those are the 3 things that I really bummed I missed out on that. But and the most thing I'm bummed out on is one of my all-time favorite hip-hop artists, especially when I was a kid, is a guy named Kwame. And he had a booth there, He's a big comic and toy guy, and he had a booth there, and I didn't realize it till the end of the show, and I didn't get to see him. And I've been trying to reach out to him and, try and get him on my show and everything. So, there's only a couple things that I didn't get to do, but other than that, it was great. Saturday night, like I said, we were out all night. We started the night at, dinner with Jesse and Dennis, and then that went to the whiskey bar with Dinesh and Vinny and Television, the guy who does Blank Canvas, the all AI comic. He had a new comic. I'll show you some of the exclusives I got right here. It was a lot of, and then we went from the whiskey bar to another whiskey bar, and then to the hookah bar. And
Hookah.
yeah, man, it was a lot of fun, dude.
A lot of vibrations, it sounds like.
Oh, bro.
Every time I open my Instagram, there's another picture from McClay somewhere in California and a drink in the picture. And I'm like, oh, that looks like so much fun. What do you think the attendance was like in years past? Because the entertainment stuff was down or lower, there was less. Did that affect attendance at all?
I don't think so. The attendance was way better than it was last year, obviously, because last year was the first
year back.
The first year back. But it definitely, people were saying 250,000, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It felt more like about 150,000 to me. It didn't feel like 250,000. I'll say that, but it definitely was a good year compared to last year. So,
nice.
What else? There was any big things?
Are you going to unveil the story of the remote to us, or is that something that
remote?
Do people have to tune in?
Experience too.
Yeah. Do people have to tune in to Beyond Wednesdays tomorrow night for that story?
No, I can talk about the remote with you guys. So, one of the funniest things that happened at the con was, we're at the Airbnb and we're getting ready to go out to Bad Ideas party. And I had just munched down a handful of mushrooms, and we're standing in line as I'm doing this, right, at the Bad Idea party, and I pull out of my pocket the remote to the TV from the Airbnb, right? And I just got done eating a handful of mushrooms. I got the remote in my hand. My thought process is give the remote to somebody responsible because I'll lose it. So I go to give it to Vinny Kumar to put in his backpack, and everybody's telling me, no, don't do it. You're going to forget it. And I'm like, listen, I will lose it tonight if I don't do this. They're like, no, you're not. You're going to forget it. You're not going to get it. Da, da, da. And sure enough, what did I do? I forgot it. So for the next 2 nights, we had no remote to change the channel on the TV, and it was on mute.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So the moment that I got the remote back, I got on camera at the whiskey bar on Saturday night or whatever. Yeah. So it was super funny. It was super funny, but thank God that I got it back. Yeah, man, it was an absolute blast. It was a good time, and I definitely needed it. It was like the decompression. That was my decompression for the year.
Get the reset.
Yeah, it was my reset. So it was very nice weekend, and I had a good time. I spent a ton of money. I spent too much money, but that being said,
is it? Yeah, if you got exclusives from the con that could segue us from that into New Comic Book Day, that'd be cool.
So go.
I'll show you a couple of things I picked up.
I think San Diego and a lot of the advertisements, it's like the first convention that I'd seen people in the community talking about exclusives again since either early in the year or like last year. Like not many people have been talking about con exclusives much at all this year.
Yeah. All right. So here's some of the stuff that I did get. I'll go ahead and show you. These were from Rick and Morty. These were ash cans that they were handing out, the Rick and Morty manga. So I guess this is selling for decent money on the secondary market. So I will be putting those up. This I picked up, and a lot of people I don't think knew about it. I guess this is a new story from the guy that does Dragon Ball Z. And it was people, this guy was just handing them out. So I grabbed one and I found, and he's like, yeah, this is the new thing from the guy who's doing Dragon Ball Z. So I'm hoping that turns into, something cool.
With the hoop.
All right. So I picked up this Conan decapitated head Art Adams cover, and it's signed by Art Adams. So that was a nice little pickup.
Decapitation.
I picked up some really cool. For those of you guys who don't know, the guy who created all the Garbage Pail Kids art and did all the first and second and third series was a guy named John Pound, and this is his. He did some comic stuff way before Garbage Pail Kids, and this is his first comic book art stuff that I got. This is a cover by him, Commies from Mars. This is another comic from him, and I found these going through a comic,
Put that back up again.
Half off comic price, half off comic box.
Is that Tushy got like tan lines?
Yep.
Probably, yeah.
Nice.
And then this is his very first ever comic work, but it's the second printing. I have the first print graded, but
Gore Stories Quarterly.
This was and the next stuff I'm going to show you is all going to be for sale. This is a Josie and the Pussycats variant from Dan Parent, and it's signed. This is a ash can for the new Geiger storyline, and this is selling for a grip too. So I grabbed one of these. Jeff Johns signed it. This is one of my favorite exclusives of the show. This is the Creep Show exclusive.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, why?
Absolutely
Well, it
beautiful.
could be the alien on it.
Uh-huh. So I'll be selling that. This is another Dan Parent exclusive that I picked up and had him sign.
Oh, cool. A mask kind of homage.
Yep. Then I got, let's see here. This is from the Bad Idea event.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that is pretty cool. This is really cool right here, man. I have never seen this, and I can't believe I found it. I never heard of it. You guys know I collect, I'm a niche comic collector. I like to collect skull covers. I like to collect alien and UFO covers. And obviously I like to collect, cannabis and counterculture stuff. Well, check this out, dude. This is a newsstand from the original Little Mermaid series by Marvel back in the day. It's a newsstand too.
No way.
Man.
Look at that.
Ultra
Weed
rare.
worries. And they're all stuck in a thing of kelp.
Where did you find that at?
It was just in a box. And I was going
$1
through comics.
box or?
Yeah, it was just in a half off box. These are all half priced. So half price the sticker. So I picked up 2 of these. These are the Simpsons comics with the Billy Ripken card inside. So I picked up 2 of those. This is the Momoko.
Oh yeah,
black and white. That'll be available for sale. A lot of people didn't know about these. These are the Street Fighter swimsuit special variants exclusives that they had. I think they're limited to like 400 or less.
It's been talked about quite a bit.
Yeah, and I never saw anybody saying anything about it at the con, and we just happened to walk up on the booth that had them.
Damn.
Those will be available. Here's another one of those Simpsons books. This is a cool book, the Cocaine Comics.
What issue number 1? I think you found like issue 3 or 4 in the past and showed it off here.
Yeah.
Did it say Rip Simpson?
Rick Simpson getting ready to show up today. All right. I got more. I'm not going to show you the whole short box, but I ended up walking away with
Damn, you left with a short box? That's pretty cool.
a short box. Yeah. I picked up 2 of these. These are the Bruce Timm All Crime Stories covers. These are really rare. So I picked up 2 of those. You're not going to believe this. I found 2 of these. Thrasher Comics number 4.
Badass.
Wow.
That's freaking $1.99.
Newsstands.
A Starter's Guide to Better Living.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I got one of these. Vinny has been holding on to this ever since C2E2, so I got this. That was the blank canvas book. This I got. Shout out to Skybound. This is the
awesome
black and white Transformers. I didn't see the Red Sonja trailer, but I got a really good Red Sonja book I'm going to show you. And then this was an exclusive from the guy that did blank canvas just for San Diego. It's called Musk vs. Zuck. Yep. So I got one of those.
I love it.
Yeah. This is also another book that Vinny was holding on to me for. So that's from C2E2. All right. I picked up this for 20.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I picked up this for 5. The Apocalypse Now Ewok cover.
Mm-hmm.
I got this. This is cool. I got this for 15. Very first Adam Hughes cover.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. This is really cool. I got this for 20. This is Eve Proto Mecha, the special foil cover.
Dude.
Super tough to find.
Yeah.
Early Top Cow.
If you grade that and it comes back like 9.8, I might be your buyer.
Okay. This is the Star Wars Dynamic Forces for number 12. That the top is gold foil. You just can't see it because of there we go.
Oh, I see it. Foil.
I miss collecting Dynamic Forces as a kid.
This right here is probably one of my best pickups of the show. A lot of people don't know what this is. This is the Chromium Special.
Wow.
Dude, Darkness cover.
Darkness.
Look at that.
Good luck finding that. I mean, you got it out of the half off bin
for $5, bro.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That is a badass cover, dude. Golly, it's really kick-ass. See, those are the type of foil cover
that's like 90s OG, like digging deep.
That's cool. Lord Pumpkin. All right. This is my other Thrashers book. All right, so this was probably the biggest slept on exclusive at the con. Limited to 100. Art Adams Red Sonja.
Dude.
Yeah. And it's signed. And then this is the color that's signed. So very nice. I think this might be, to me, this might be one of the books of the con that will probably, I'm not saying be worth the most, but will be the sleeper of the con that people just didn't realize how rare they were. So,
have the best legs, so to speak.
Yeah. This is the Adi Granov book. I got more. Spawn. The foil Spawn. Another one. Gunslinger gold foil Spawn. These are 1 of 1,000. So gold foil Scorched. And this, a lot of people are saying this will be the book of the con. The Spawn number 1 Puppeteer book. Super limited. So I picked up that. The Campbell books. Get the Campbell.
Yeah, that one I've seen people talking about.
Yeah. So that'll be for sale. The Campbell books came with a card too. I just got to find it. I love this Alex Ross. I picked up one of these. So this is the Joker Alex Ross exclusive. I picked up one of these. They had 9/8 signature series there for $300, and these were, I think, were they 100 or 50? I can't remember, but I was like, screw it, man. The 9/8 signature series, it's already here. You know what I mean? I'm gonna Trinity Comics still has some of the Art Adams on their site. Go pick that up, you guys, if you get a chance. So a 9/8
short box.
I did. I brought a short box, and Big Leg had a backpack that carried 4 store folios. So he was nice enough to fill up his store folios with my books too, which was awesome.
Yeah, a backpack fit for Leg.
Yeah, and then this is the Starfire Alex Ross.
I've been hearing lots about Starfire.
Yeah. This is the what is this? The EM Gist. To me, this is the best Boba Fett variant at the con. This is a Rick and Morty #7 exclusive by Maria Wolf. Heart of Rickness. Yeah. Peach Momoko come with a foil trading card by any chance? No, I didn't get any of the foil trading cards. Then I got when they had the Rick and Morty Maria Wolf, they also had some of these lenticulars. These old school. These were from way back when.
That was really good.
Yeah,
that's on the screen really badass looking.
Yeah, so these were there. So I picked up a couple of these to sell.
3D. That's awesome. I've never seen it that good on TV.
Yeah, it looks really good, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I picked up that.
I wonder why the TV picked it up so good. That's interesting.
Hold on, I'm almost done here. Adam Eve, foil, black and white. These are the Tim Seeley, Ryan Otley. I mean, black and white.
Were those all reprints of the first issue?
I'm not sure. There's the regular. It says Invincible #9.
Okay.
So, here's the foil version. What else did I get? This is the receipt for Boom. This is the Something's Killing the Children. One of Something's Killing the Children variants.
Yeah, aren't they doing something? They're going back and reprinting the issues.
It says Something is Killing the Children, issue 1, featuring art and commentary by Werther Del Eldra.
So it's kind of like a director's edition almost.
Yeah. And then director's cut. This is obviously one of my favorite books I picked up, The Frizen Alice Ever After. This is another Frizen exclusive from Boom for Grimm. Another Frizen exclusive for Sirens of the City. And you could only get one of these per person, which was smart by Boom to do that. This is beautiful. Look at that.
Wow.
Frizen.
Is it foil or no? It's just
no foil. They only had a couple of foil at the Boom studio. Dude, look at these Lady Death. I wish I was able to get more of these, but they were only one per person and they sold out quickly. Lady Death Nakayama.
It's quite
Lady Death Nakayama. And Lady Death foil signed by Polito.
Oh wow.
So those I'll probably sell all those in a set. I'm gonna sell as many of these as possible just to try and pay. Oh, here's 2 more Frizen. So this is the foil Frizen that they offered. and then the regular Frizzen. So, I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to make these available for sale. I was talking to Stein because Stein is going to be doing his Stein Pack 7. So if anybody's out there that's into the Stein packs, go look at Stein's IG. You want to get ready for that.
Yep.
So I was talking to Stein, and I started thinking, I'm like, man, why don't I just do a San Diego Comic-Con Stein pack thing where I put like one exclusive in every pack with either 4 other good books or another slab, and then do that. So I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. Time is running out. I have to figure that out in the next day. But it was pretty cool. What was the Frizzen Alice Ever After? Well, yes, everything I just showed you, other than like the 4 books I got out of short boxes, which were the first couple things I showed you, everything was exclusives. So all the Boom stuff was exclusives. All the Invincible stuff was exclusives. Yeah. So had to stand in line for all those.
Hence that. Okay, so now I see you did do a lot of Sandy because you got a lot of stuff you brought back.
Yeah, bro. It was absolutely crazy. So yeah.
San Diego Comic-Con's definitely on my bucket list. I don't know if I can make it next year. They already put up the dates. It's the end of July next year. I am quickly becoming a fan of planning early and saving up early and doing what everybody told me I should have done years ago. Hop on a plane, head out for 3 nights or 2 nights, go meet your friends, spend time with them, and then fly back. Heroes Con was an absolute blast. And I think San Diego is like the next one that I got to do that with, to take a flight out there and spend a weekend.
Yeah. The amount of money that people made, for example, Wanted Comics, Drew at Wanted Comics was spending all day in the con, grabbing tons of exclusives or getting like books signed by artists, and then going home or going to his to the Whatnot house or to his hotel, doing a show for an hour and a half. He would do like 2 to 3 shows for an hour a day. He probably made over 10 grand easy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, man. He killed it. Absolutely killed it. He was jumping on sales for an hour and walking away, sold out, and, having a $3,000 hour-long sale, that type of thing. Because everybody wants San Diego exclusives. Everybody wants it.
Yeah, San Diego's that kind of con where are they going to? In the past, they've always limited ticket sales. They've shut them down. So it's like your avenue to getting some of these exclusives now is going to be eBay Live, going to be Whatnot, going to be Instagram Live. That's a lot of people's routes to getting these exclusives from here on out.
In fact, if I'm not mistaken, McClay, you went empty-handed. You didn't even have tickets, but you still got in.
I didn't have tickets. I got as soon as I got there, I got a pass. I'm very lucky. I'm going to say this straight up. I'm very lucky, because of the show. I have a lot of people reach out to me and offer me badges. I had like probably 5 or 6 people reach out to me and say, "Hey, I'm only going for 1 day or 2 days. Do you want my badge?" But I was lucky enough on Wednesday night, somebody didn't show up for one of our, I'll just say, industry buddies. And they're like, "Hey, here you go." And I had a full pass for the whole show. So I was very lucky. Yeah, very lucky. And on top of that, our Airbnb, me and Sean thought we were going to have to pay $600 a night because we didn't get our hotel or anything for like 3 weeks out from the con, right? So we thought we were going to have to pay $600 a night for just a shitty hotel room. Dude, our Airbnb for 5 days and 4 nights was $2,600 for 5 days and 4 nights between 4 people. So we each paid about $650 for all 5 days and 4 nights.
That's a deal.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So, things usually just work out really well for me at San Diego. I don't know if it's the karma. I build up my comic karma throughout the year and, cash in on San Diego. So it was great, dude. And on top of that, my ride out was going to be Bird City, and they ended up having the kids come with them because they couldn't find anybody to stay with their kids. So I didn't I couldn't ride with them. And then my other ride I was supposed to go with was Jesse James. He went out a day and a half early, and I wasn't even ready to go. So both my rides I didn't have. So I was like, I'm not gonna be able to get a flight. I looked at flights. They were like $500 for a flight. I'm like, there's no way I'm doing that. So I went to go see how much it cost to rent a car. I rented a brand new Toyota 4Runner for $75. Drove it to San Diego Wednesday morning. Dropped it off Wednesday afternoon. Cost me $75. It basically drove itself because of all the new fancy dancy radar. And I did the same thing on the way back. So my round trip cost was $150 plus, a full tank of gas. So like $200.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was nice, dude. It definitely played out well. So good shit.
Yeah.
Tune in tomorrow to Beyond Wednesdays, and of course on Saturday night also. I'm sure we'll be talking about the con pretty extensively with Big Leg and everybody else who was, the Hive Boys stayed there. And
you guys probably got some stories.
Yeah, there'll be some absolutely crazy stories for sure.
Yeah, that's epic. I'm looking forward to it. I might have to catch Wednesday night on the replay. But before we segue into New Comic Book Day really quick,
really good.
A new viewer, Moxicillin, over on Twitch was just asking kind of like how big everybody is in the comic community. The comic community ranges from everybody from people with 20 subscribers to people with 60, 70, 80,000 subscribers. The community is all about supporting each other. And basically the different channels are just different talking heads and different content styles that people prefer. And everybody is all about supporting and sending people around the community to find the content that you enjoy and you like, because everybody's doing 2-3 shows a week, whether it be convention follow-ups, new comic book day stuff, or exclusives, things of that nature. So welcome, Amoxicillin. Subscribe on Twitch if you're a Twitch viewer. If not, we empower you to hop on YouTube and discover the comic community and find all the channels that are putting out great content. You'll never need cable TV again, trust me.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of background feedback. Some speakers, it kind of is hit or miss. It started about halfway through.
Bryan, do you have your speakers on?
Yeah.
Turn them down just a little bit.
My speakers.
That'll fix it.
I don't have I don't have a headset.
Yeah, your speakers are feeding back into the mic.
My bad.
Oh, you're good, brother. You're good. All right. New Comic Book Day. Lots of books for sure. To me, that's the book that everybody's going crazy for. The Jeff DeCall She-Hulk book for She-Hulk number 15. This is the DeCall variant. Man, that is beautiful. The trade dress is a little wonky, but everything else, man, holy shit.
And there's not a lot of covers for that coming out. Yeah, see, there's only 4 total.
4. Yeah. So that one's really good. Red Room has a killer Hellboy homage coming out. So shout out to Eddie P and who is it? Jim Rugg that are doing this book. Pick that one up. Star Wars, the regular cover for Darth Vader, black, white, and red is absolutely beautiful. It's better than both the variants. So there's that. That is by, who did that one? Torrin Clark? Was it Torrin Clark that did it? I think Torrin Clark probably did it. This is the Eastman. It's not very good.
Yeah.
Eastman. And then this is Tony Daniel.
I do like that.
Yeah, to me, they're okay. This Torrin Clark one is freaking amazing.
I like how the stormtroopers are more like a negative space instead of a white painted on white kind of deal.
Yep. Man, that's good. So that's Darth Vader, black, white, and red. Scorched number 20 has a really good cover B. This is the cover B by Randall. That's a great cover. Ghost Rider. Obviously, Ghost Rider books are always worth checking out the covers, but this is the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider number 3. This is the Davila variant.
Dude, every month, man. Every month Ghost Rider's like hitting ringers.
Yep. This is the regular Ghost Rider number 16. This is the A cover for that by, I imagine, Barron's, right? That looks like a Barron's book, but who knows? That's beautiful. That is by, Barron's. So, and then the variant, it has a Perel Hellfire Gala. That's pretty good. That's actually a really good Hellfire Gala variant. And then this is the EM Gist variant. Damn. So the Ghost Rider covers have
It's
been
almost
so
like
good.
that's the Punisher logo made out of the chain. I can't quite tell if they're trying to throw like that Punisher logo down or if they're just making it a skull.
Yeah. Probably both. Night Terrors number 2 has a killer 1 in 25. This is the Jeff Spokes cardstock variant. It's the homage to the old school Batman book, but really, really great homage done correctly. I love how it's Damian. He's got the red from the whole Night Terrors, variants. So that's 1 in 25. There's also a Ivan Rice neon variant.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah. So I like that. More Night Terrors. This is the Dustin Wen variant for Night Terrors Detective Comics number 1. But this also has some really good covers too. This is the Bernard Chang cardstock right there. This is the Kyle Holtz.
Hots.
Oh wow,
Hots cover. He's one of my favorite artists, newer artists out there.
This one's badass. This is the 1 in 25. Yeah, Cully Hamner.
That's dope. I love the candle.
Yes, yeah.
And then
you don't see a lot of candles on
still
cover.
got a belt on. You see that?
Yeah. And that's the 1 in 50. But I really like the Dustin Wen covers. I mean, they're all so good. Got that red, stylized cover that he's doing with all of them. This is another one of the Dustin Wens for Harley Quinn. This is the Dustin Wen cardstock variant. There is an awesome Frizzen for that one.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So pick that up. This one's not too bad. This is the main cover. It's okay. Like an arcade. And then this is the Tula Lotte variant for that. Not that great. She usually hits it out of the park, but not with that one. And then this is the 1 in 25. Pretty good. This is the weird one. And I talked about this on Comic Book Drama Alert a few weeks back. I don't understand how this is happening and why it's happening. I know that, John over at 616 is a real stand-up dude. And, Bryan and SimpleMan has worked with him for years. I've met him. He's a good dude. I met him and his wife. They're amazing people. But it's very weird to me that they are putting out the foil version of a Bird City Comics exclusive. That sounds very, very sneaky to me. I'm surprised DC let them do it. It's not right.
Interesting.
This is the Carla Cohen variant that was designed by Laura from Bird City, specifically for Carla Cohen. They put it out as one of their exclusives, and they allowed 616 to be part of it, but not to be part of it to where they're on the contract or anything. They just sent them some, they split the print run with them, but not to where they're on the contract or anything. This is 100% a Bird City book. that they let 616 be part of, which happens all the time, but not part of to where 616 should be able to call DC and go, hey, I would like to do a foil cover of this book. Even though Bird City's all over the contract, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? It just sounds very weird, and it doesn't sit right with me. I would love to hear more about it from John. I've heard a ton about it, obviously, from one side. I'd love to hear more about it. I'd love to hear more about it from DC, to be honest, because it just doesn't feel right. It's also doesn't feel right that in the same vein, you know, one thing at the con that I did notice is there must be 5 or 6 homages that retailers did to the Lost 23 Adam Hughes cover. There was the Mexican foil that Trinity did. There was the DC shitty foil that Mellow Fellow did. There's like 3 different homages. There's a Power Girl homage. There's a Patrioca homage. They're totally burning people out on that. And that's one of the all-time greatest covers ever. But here's the problem to me. They should have went to Adam Hughes and said, hey, this is the cover you did. Do you want to do a retailer exclusive foil version of this? And if Adam Hughes said no, then they should have opened it up to the retailers, the regular retailers out there. They should, if they're going to let retailers do foil versions of these great covers, past covers, which they're doing, they should reach out to the original artists first and say, you have first right of refusal. If you don't want to do it, then we'll ask the retailers out there if they want to do it, or put it on a list. Because Adam Hughes isn't happy. I guess supposedly he, wrote, and his wife came out and wrote a comment under, one of the Mellow Fellow posts, or one of the posts from the foil versions of the Lost 23, and was like, we didn't know about this. That's a big problem to me.
Wow.
It's an optics thing. It's a respect thing. I get it. They're not breaking any laws or anything, but it's a respect thing for sure. So,
respect.
Again,
nice.
It's just more examples of the retailer exclusive game causing problems. It's just going to continue to cause problems. It's way out of control. The ones that are doing it right are the ones that keep getting screwed over. It seems like Bird Cities, to me, is one of the few ones that is doing it right. Very, very, quiet in how they do things. And, it would be weird waking up one morning and seeing your exclusive being foilized by a company and being sold by another retailer. It just doesn't make sense. So,
right.
Again, you guys know how I feel about retailer exclusive variants. They're just they've become a monster now. But let's move on. Finally, another Dustin Nguyen Night Terrors book. This is Night Terrors Titans. This is Dustin Nguyen. And then, of course, the Alice Ever After #1 preview. This is the 1 in 25 in Huck Lee, which is awesome. And then, of course, this is the exclusive from San Diego that I just showed you from Frizen. This is the regular Frizen cover B, which is beautiful. I'll pick one of those up eventually. And then this is the Virgin 1 in 10. So in Huck Lee, this is beautiful right here. This is the 1 in 50 Sean Murphy. And then this is the cover F Sean Murphy. It's the only thing different. It just has the trade dress right here. So beautiful, beautiful covers. And then, of course, the unlockable Panosian cover G, which I'm sure this will be a big, big cover this week. And then we've got the Scotty Young Amazing Spider-Man #30, which is awesome. And Avengers #3 Mark Brooks corner box variant.
That I like a lot.
Yeah. Those are everything that I kind of saw. You guys got anything else?
Dude, you pretty much hit everything that I was getting on my list. Star Wars Mandalorian Season 2 is coming out, but I don't think any of the covers are really like drop dead amazing. And They're not
Venom
bad.
has a key comic coming out this week.
What is
Star Wars?
Venom.
Venom. I'll check out the Venom.
Yeah,
Here's the
I
Star
was
Wars.
basically cutting to the. I was basically gonna. If you want to cut to that Mandalorian season 2, that was the only thing you hadn't shown that I'm picking up, and we can segue over to Ryan because it's a big Venom week.
Here's the Mandalorian stuff. This is the 1 in 25.
But as far as
the concept art,
it's the retailer exclusive there. The 616 Unknown Comics 616. That one I liked.
Another 616 book. And then it's Amazing Spider-Man. That's Avengers. Okay, Venom.
Yeah, there's like 35 covers for Venom this week.
Jesus.
There's a lot.
It's they're introducing this character, or they got this character gonna be on the cover. Not this one.
This guy right here?
No.
Okay.
It's Black Widow.
That guy?
No.
That's Ryan Brown right there.
That's awesome looking though.
Yeah. Oh, the new Black Widow Venom. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, right there.
There you go. So that's new. And that's why it's like that's a story. Ooh, that's sick. Where's that from?
That's really good.
Comic Kingdom.
God dang, that's badass.
By Don McTeague.
They knocked that one out of the park.
This new comic book day is gonna give your wallet nightmares, man.
Dude,
yeah, dude, that's awesome. I gotta save that.
Freaking A, man. Where's that Comic King? Ooh, that is background cover. That's badass.
That's giving me darkness. Nope.
Oh yeah, and Toxin's coming back in. Toxin's is gonna be it's just funny because I've been buying someone's collection for a period of time, and I just finished paying it off and got a bunch of it in, and the Toxin set. So I got another Toxin set.
Look at that Del Auto. Holy cow.
You know that I could tell you that's Del Auto by looking at it, because Del Auto's Venom looks the same.
Dude, look at that. They're gonna start doing the logos without the foil now.
I love the logo of Venom. You know, that was a tattoo I've been wanting to get forever.
There's a version of it. There's the Black Widow, Yoon.
Yeah. And it's funny, but I think but they did a number 1. Why did they do this one again?
That's
weird.
That's Mayhew.
Trade this spoiler variant. That spoiler variant is the one that they're talking with the Black Widow.
Gotcha.
The axe thing, that was a big deal for a while. That
screams 90s cover.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. Remind me of Top Gun when they're playing volleyball.
Yeah, Joe brought up the World Tree number 4, 1 in 50 as well.
Oh yeah, that's actually definitely worth checking out.
Whoa,
look at this. Look at this Warren Hell First Appearance of Death homage. That's cool. World Tree.
Right there. Up. Nope, left.
Right there.
There you go.
Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting regular cover. Ooh. Hold on here.
Is that the 1 in 50?
This is the
Tau? No.
I don't know who it is. This is the cover B. This is the 1 in 25. By Trad Moore. This is the 1 in 50 right here.
Oh wow.
Dan Quintana. 1 in 100.
World Tree.
This is the Ivan Tao exclusive.
I like that one.
That is the Oshred Connecting exclusive. That is the... Isn't this a Hive book? I think Hive was doing that. Stan Yak. That is the Hive book. This is the real Shrike variant.
Wow.
The new artist that they found. And he is amazing.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That looks like it looks like this from the, what's that
Die Antwoord?
Yeah, Die Antwoord.
That's creepy as fuck. That's a book you got to grab and bring to a convention and find that guy's table and get a sketch done on that.
Is this 3D?
Yeah.
You say?
No.
How much you said it was?
This is a
No, I'm
Hive
just
book.
joking.
Yeah.
I'm clowning you from your show.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen Trad Moore since Silver Surfer Black, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
I know. I love Tradmore. He's one of my favorites too. That was his cover.
You guys hear that Capullo is going to be doing Wolverine?
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
John Jang.
That was that Diane Ward looking cover was from Tradmore.
No, that was from Will Shrike.
Oh,
He's Hive Comics new artist that they just found. He's
wait,
brand new
which
to
one was
comics.
Tradmore doing?
I forget what 1 in 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spider. Oh, this is the What If Dark Spider Gwen. It's a 1 in 25. I think that's about it. I don't know if there's anything else. Let's see what Vampirella books we got.
Seeming like a pretty normal comic book day.
Yeah, that's Lyrics. She does some great art, man. Linsner has been killing it lately. Ooh, wow, that's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's cosplay. 1 in 10, 1 in 10, cosplay. Ooh, Jesus. Thiago da Silva. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff there. But, Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures. There we go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Amnesiacs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Ninja. This might be, let's see if there's any good variants with.
Yeah, they've had a couple of good ones in the past. So that's where I love Eastman's artwork right there.
Not a fan of Eastman. That's cool. I think that's Stan Sakai's wife or daughter that does that one. I think that's about. What's the Storm? Let's see if there's any good Storm variants. That's pretty good. Lashley. Ken Lashley's a amazing artist. And that's about it. So pretty big day for new comic books, that's for sure.
I'm happy. I've got like $50 worth of books. Pretty. That's kind of in that budget that I want to be.
Yeah.
40, $50.
Yeah. So a lot of good stuff. Yeah. Joe's Doolin says Will Shrike has a Bird City, the Cole exclusive coming soon as well. Yeah, they're going to be doing a ton of covers with him. And they should. They found a good one. So Hive, Jonathan and James have some really good ideas coming down the pike. So be on the lookout for Hive Comics. Be on the lookout. They're doing that Birds and the Bees thing with Bird City. So Bird City always puts out good stuff, and now they're going to be doing this cool stuff with the Hive boys. Wanted Comics has some really good stuff coming. They have a Creep Show book that is going to just a cover for Creep Show that is going to blow everybody away. Another brand new artist. To me, that's the cool thing. I like retailers that if they're going to do an exclusive variant, either go find a really cool new artist or try to do something that not everybody's doing. Too many people out there are doing what exact same thing that everybody's doing because, and rightfully so, they would rather have money than. But here's the problem. It's like the whole teach a man to fish saying. It's great to get money, but you're going to tire everybody out. You're going to make people tired of seeing homages. You're going to make people tired of seeing foil covers. You're going to make people tired of seeing horrible Amazing Spider-Man 300 variants. You know what I mean? Like every time I see Amazing Spider-Man 300 homage, I'm like, yuck. And that was my main cover I used to collect. So you just make people tired when you kill something when you're just beating a dead horse at this point. So, my advice to retailers, coming from a person who is not a retailer, I'm not a businessman, so you're probably in one ear out the other. But my advice for retailers is don't make your customers not want to buy stuff from you. And unfortunately, you do that when you put out shoddy stuff, and it gets to the point where somebody's like, well, I want to support them, but man, I'm tired of these same old variants that they're doing every week, just a different title. It's the same old homage. Nakayama does the same freaking pose for Unknown Comics 3 times a week, and it's like, ugh. Don't ruin. Look at what Peach That's another crazy thing. We'll be talking about the Peach Momoko craziness tomorrow. There was another drama alert segment for Peach Momoko that happened at San Diego Comic-Con. That's going to be very interesting to talk about tomorrow. So, and I'll fill you in after the show.
I'm looking forward to that. Really quick though. Again, there's a lot of new names I'm kind of seeing in the chat. So I'm going to drop the Beyond Wednesdays link here really quick before we get towards the end of the show, and make sure everybody's subscribed to Bryan and everybody is hitting that click and notify button for the show tomorrow night and all the other great shows Bryan does.
Thank you, brother. Hell yeah.
That's New Comic Book Day. That's Bryan's link in the chat. Make sure you guys are subscribing to him, and that's just going to leave us with what?
Uno más digo.
One more thing.
Biggity bow.
McClay, what you got, brother?
I am going to see Oppenheimer tomorrow. Oppenheimer comes out. It was pretty cool to see that this weekend for box office of the movies broke records for best box office weekend in history, I believe. Oppenheimer and Barbie did just both those two alone did amazing numbers. And obviously Barbie being number one, but Oppenheimer is a Christopher Nolan movie. Me and my best friend Keith, who I do the podcast with, are huge Christopher Nolan fans. And I would tell everybody out there, if you're going to go see Oppenheimer, try to see it in a IMAX and try to see it in the IMAX, which I think does the 70 millimeter. You can look it up on the internet, which is the best place to see Oppenheimer in your area, and definitely go see it in IMAX because it's worth it. Christopher Nolan does all his stuff in IMAX cameras. He makes his movies specifically for IMAX, and he is an old school movie maker that's all about the art. He loves telling great stories and he loves making money, but to him, it's about the art and not about, Michael Bay explosions anymore. So, yeah, 70 millimeter IMAX is the only way to see that movie. Yep. So I'm getting up at 9:30 in the morning, which I don't get up usually past 10 a.m. if I'm lucky. So I'm getting up at 9:30 in the morning to drive, an hour out to my 70 millimeter IMAX theater to see it.
Dude, I'm gonna have to look for one of those. I know we've got an IMAX. I just don't know if it's 70.
Yeah. Thank you, Three Rivers. I'm looking forward to it. This is Oppenheimer is the bomb. Oh, yeah, I'm sure it is.
Jesus. My one more thing is I want to give a shout out to my buddy Robert Smith. Like I said, I've been buying a collection from him for some time now. He had he used to do Venom, and we used to go during the pandemic. We'd go and have these on variant covers that came out, because he was okay with the trade and I would take the Virgin. So we'd take turns buying sets as they would come out. And that was the only way I was able to keep up with different sets coming in. And then he decided he wasn't going to do it anymore because he felt like he was getting taken advantage of because of our collecting styles. So he basically stopped collecting. And I picked up what Venoms I didn't have that he did. So he did have it. So he helped me close in my gap on my Venom. I still only need about like 12 or 13 more Venoms to have it all up to volume 4. And then but one of the ones I was really excited to get was actually some Scream stuff, and that's this number 1 second print, which is it's one of the series that was kind of forgotten about, so there's not a bunch of those out there. This is I forget what this one who did this, but I love this cover. It's a cool cover. It's after Bagley. So that's a cool one. This one, but the one that's the best is this one right here. This is a number 2, but it's rare, and so it's hard to come by nowadays. It's a 1 in 200, and so 1 in 200 or number 2 is just a rare book, and so I was happy to get this one in my collection. So and I got a bunch of other books that I needed to finish off the different series and stuff like that. So just want to give a shout out to him and say thanks, because I know when I say I've been buying over a period of time, it's been like 2 years probably of me sending him $100 here, $200 there, $100 here. So thanks for putting up with me.
Dude, that's awesome, man. You're the man of rare Venom books. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably
well, my one more thing is kind of sad this week. I'm dropping the link in the chat for this most recent unboxing. It's only sad because it is the end of a journey. It is the end of almost a year-long journey of this book sitting right here to my left, of the Star Wars Clone Wars 1 first appearance of Ahsoka Tano and Captain Rex, double signed by Ashley Eckstein and Matt Lannern. There's the link in the chat for the unboxing to check that out. There are 3 giveaways happening with that, i.e. you comment in there, follow the instructions and comment in there, and you'll get entered. And a week from tomorrow, we're going to do the drawing. So there's only one more week and 1 day left to get in there. I know I'm seeing some comments show up in some of the other videos, CGC unboxings I'm doing. So I'm saying, like, Kenneth, I'm calling you out, Kenneth, buddy. Wrong video. You got to drop that comment, follow the instructions for the one in the link in the chat there. It's only sad because it was about a year-long journey, and it was the comic community that helped get this set in my hands. It's the community that joined us along the way for acquiring the book and pre-grading them and getting them pressed and clean all the way through to the signing event. And now it's back, and it hit 9/8, and you guys got to see the unboxing. It's a great opportunity to talk about State of Comics from Plymouth, Michigan, that did all the handling for this book at the con, and those guys were amazing. And they're offering, one of the giveaways is they're offering a $25 gift card. So be sure to enter that and just throw a quick like on the video. It turned out pretty good.
Oh yeah. Good shit, man.
Those are sad. Those end of air type things are kind of sucky.
It is. I'm kind of sad because that's literally like the Stanley Cup of all comic books in our house right now. Like, that's like, you sit back in your chair, you kick your feet up, and you're like, whew, I don't even know how we're gonna top that one next, because that is it. Like,
yeah,
can't
I know.
think of anything else. Well, I can think of other things, but when it comes to what you can afford and what you can do, it's like the retailer incentive of Clone Wars 1 is next, but that's unobtainium as far as that's going to take years and years to save up for, depending on how the market goes.
That's like my Venom Volume 2s they're like the real rare ones from Volume 2 that I have. It's like I still can't believe I have them.
Yeah. That's new comic book. No, it's not new comic book day. That's Comic News Weekly. It's only Tuesday. I'm trying to jump a day ahead. McClay, thanks, man, for the commentary on SDCC. That's epic. Ryan, thank you again for your time, and everybody in the chat for another great week, another great web episode. And you guys know how we do this, right? I'm going to go peace out. I'm going to pinkies out. I'm going to catch everybody on the flip side for the next one. Remember, the most important part all day, every week. Stay original and take care of each other, because we are all we have.
Biggity bow.
Peace out, everybody. Biggity bow.
Double up, double up, double up. The money I color. Excuse me while I change. The holler buggy has made me sweaty. Yeah, sweaty.